I'm patient.
Recording in progress.
City of Rockaway Beach City Council meeting on Wednesday, March 12th, 2025 at 6:01 p.m. will come to order. The City Council and staff want our business meetings to be a safe place for all to attend and share their opinions, a place of common courtesy and civility. As such, we request all people in attendance respect those attending and the opinions of those with whom you may disagree during meetings, prior to meetings, during breaks, and after meetings. This will enable our community to establish an environment wherein all issues and opinions may be fairly considered, and decisions, though sometimes difficult, will be made in a spirit of mutual respect for all community members, no matter our differences. Please place your cell phones on silent and let's stand and recite the Pledge of Allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let's record who is in attendance. Council President Cheek. Oh, it looks like she's on mute. Councilor Cheek, you're on mute. All right, Councilor Franken.
Here.
Councilor Conriff.
Here.
Councilor Martine. Here. Councilor McGinnis.
Here.
Council President Cheek.
Yes, yes.
Technology is not always a friend, we understand. Mayor Seeley is present. The consent agenda is a tool used to streamline meeting procedures by collecting routine, non-controversial items into a group whereby all are passed with a single motion and vote. You have before you the consent agenda on the approval of the amended February 12th, 2025 regular meeting minutes, approval of February 12th, 2025 workshop minutes, review of financial reports, and approval of moving regular July meeting from July 9th to July 16, 2025. The minutes of the previous meetings and financial reports were distributed beforehand. The move of the July meeting was discussed at the February council workshop. Does a councilor wish to remove any of these items from the consent agenda to be discussed individually during item 11, items removed from consent agenda? Since there's no interest in moving any of these, may I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I make a motion, we approve the consent agenda.
Second? I'll second it. It's moved and seconded to approve the consent agenda. Let's vote. Council President Cheek.
Yes.
Councilor Franken.
Yes.
Conriff.
Yes.
Councilor Martine.
Yes.
Councilor McGinnis.
Yes.
The motion passes unanimously. We have no presentations, guests, or announcements, so we will move directly to staff reports. The chair recognizes Fire Chief Todd Hesse to report on the fire department and emergency preparedness.
Mr. Mayor, City Council, and City Manager, Rockaway Beach, you have before you the Fire Department Council report for the month of February 2025. Let's start off with our run report as always. Notice we had a fairly busy month again. We had 59 different events during the month, 33 of those being 911 calls, 27 of them medical. Had a few small structure fires, nothing bad this month. Couple motor vehicle crashes and one vehicle fire. Trainings, we had a dozen, still working on the EMT class and our firefighter one skills. We also added the EVOC class or emergency vehicle operations course. So we're trying to make sure everybody's up to speed on all the driving. We actually, if you're not doing anything tomorrow night, you can come watch us drive the cone course, which is always a fun and exciting night. 14 non-emergent calls. We're on the beach a few times, couple public assists, couple lift assists. We started into burn complaint season already, had one. We've already had a couple this month. So that has begun. Call volume over the last few years, you can kind of look at the numbers down below. You'll notice the 911 calls are back up. Where it's kind of, the years 22 and 23 had a couple anomalies in them with some frequent flyers that were a little out of touch. So this year's 72 911 calls to date is a little interesting to us. We're kind of watching it. We've started March off just as busier. We looked at, Captain Grace and I looked this morning, and we're exactly 30 runs, 911 calls over where we were same day last year. So we're well into where we were in April last year, and we got spring break coming, so we'll see how that pans out. You never know when the next one comes in, so maybe it'll level out, but doesn't look good right now. So like to say last month, we worked on our EMTs class and EVOC skills and firefighter 1. We're kind of moving March into fire operations, finish the driving course, and then start into our water rescue regimen. As soon as it warms up enough, we can get out on the beach and the lake and make sure everything's working right. We weren't on the beach. If you turn on page 2, we weren't on the beach much last month. A few times out there, but we didn't see much. But I would have to note that we did have one medical call with this high surf and the rough ocean. We did get a pretty good sized log roll up and roll over somebody. So we did have a medical call. Did have an injury, but it was just a good reminder of how dangerous the ocean can be again. Volunteers in the CERT and the preparedness and the radio are still doing a good job. A lot of them are out here in the audience tonight, have had a couple of classes. A CERT had their quarterly meeting, I think it was last week. Try to keep up with the training, keep them organized. The preparedness meeting was on pet first aid, and it was extremely well attended. I forgot to ask what this month's, Tillamook PUD is coming in April for the April meeting. That's always a very informative and great meeting. But we're really honestly just getting ready for spring break and the upcoming summer season, because we know this is when things actually start to get busy. So we're working on getting ready for that ladder truck that'll be coming. We still do not have a delivery date. I was trying to get you one today, did not get a firm date. But once I get here too, I thought I'd just mention too, we're going to be ready to get our insurance rating updated after that gets here. We're just kind of waiting on that delivery. Hopefully that'll help save some insurance premiums to our citizens in the future. But other than that, looks like, the calm before the storm is how it feels like right now. And I'd be happy to answer any questions.
I have a couple.
Sure.
Could you explain to people, when you say update the insurance rating,
Sure.
what does that mean for them?
Well, it means savings in your pockets. So there's a 1 to 10 insurance rating schedule for the insurance, what they call ratings. So if you have a homeowner, as a homeowner, when you get homeowners insurance, they look at your local fire department and they tell you what you're currently rated at. And off that scale of 1 to 10, they calculate your insurance premiums. So every number you get down from 10, 10 means no protection, 1 means you're a Class A department. We're currently at 5, which is really good for a rural, small town department. But with the addition of the ladder truck and some extra points, we could get down potentially to 4, I think for sure, and potentially a 3. And what that really means is your insurance premiums for your homeowner's insurance will be significantly less. So that's what our hope is with this. And it also includes our staff that we've added since we've rated last and a few other things. So very confident that we'll see a fairly significant savings in your insurance.
And my other thing is, last Friday, the mayor and I attended an informational session with all of Tillamook County and ENVC in Nehalem Bay hosted it. We went to Cannon Beach, and they've had their emergency management in place for about 15 years. So we were able to see what one looks like when it has grown considerably. And I was impressed that there is so much coordination between all of the fire departments and emergency management systems.
And Tillamook County has a pretty strong program right now, and I think that collaborative effect will pay dividends in the end, for sure.
And I mentioned this to Chief Hesse before the meeting, but I'll mention it to everybody here. This session that Councilor McGinnis mentioned, I had one of the attendees come up to me and speak very highly about what Captain Grace brings to our community as our head of medical stuff. So we have a well-respected staff in your department. Chief
I'll make
Hesse.
sure I pass that on to him.
Yeah, oh, go ahead.
I wanted to hear you talk about the log rollers. I've been on quite a few of those cases, and every one of them that I've been able to check up on, they've been in a wheelchair for almost a year.
Yeah, this
So
this
it's not
definitely,
an easy thing.
no, this was a significant injury, and yeah, it will take some time to recover for sure. But they're lucky the water was tall enough to pull the log off them. Because they were completely under the water.
I've never had one trapped, but I've had them do the rolling pin, roll over them, and then come back and roll over 'em again on the way up.
It's just enough water to lift the log back off and. But. Yeah, had a happy outcome that way.
Yeah, that's when we got the airbags for that.
And that's what we train on the airbags for and some of the other tools we have. But any other questions? Okay.
Council President Cheek, did you have anything?
No, I just wanted to thank the chief. They had the pleasure of picking me up and taking me to the hospital when I injured myself. So I appreciate what they do for the community. And they helped me up and down my stairs with the new chair. And that chair is fantastic. It was much smaller and it was more comfortable. And they strapped you in and I didn't feel like we were going to tip over. So all in all, it was a great investment.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. All right, let's, the chair recognizes Deputy Kevin Grogan to report for the Rockaway Beach Patrol.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. Firstly, I would like to say if anybody does have the chance to go see fire, do the EVOC training, it is great, especially the reverse portion. You will be highly entertained. Okay, so February kept pace with January as far as criminal cases went. We spent a few overtime shifts during the National Clicker Ticket Campaign, enforcing seatbelt use. A few dozen contacts were made during the shifts, with education regarding proper seatbelt use being the focus. Notable service calls this month include a theft of license plate from the Lake Lila area, case is still open. A hit and run that resulted in the death of a domestic animal was investigated. Suspect has been identified and this case will be forwarded to the appropriate agency for adjudication. A male local to Tillamook was arrested on an outstanding warrant. A report of menacing between students was reported having taken place on the school bus. This case has been forwarded to the appropriate agencies. The school district was heavily involved and extremely helpful. Strong community partnerships allow these types of incidents to be investigated thoroughly and help maintain a safe community and schools. And we all know spring break right around the corner. That being said, it'll bring a whole bunch more people here. We all know that triple, double, whatever number we want to go with size. Plan accordingly. We all know it's going to take about 10, 15 minutes to take a left-hand turn on 101. Just be prepared for that. And if you don't have to go anywhere, don't walk if you need to. We all know what it's like. That being said, I will answer any questions if we've got any.
Councilors? Council President Cheek?
No, I don't have any questions.
I just have one, because last month you mentioned that a third person was might soon
So I
be
had a
available.
conversation with my sergeant this morning. It sounded like we're closer to getting 4 people soon. So that's probably going to happen here pretty soon. The schedule's going to be moved around. So we'll have mainly 2 people for the most of the week on every single day, night shift and day shift. So it's getting really close.
Rockaway will have 4?
Yep.
Oh, fantastic.
Getting really close to that. And, it's going to be a whole new shift change for everybody. So it'll be good for us in the community. So.
Good news. Thank you.
Just in time for summer.
Right, the chair recognizes Public Works Superintendent Dan Emerson. Come on down.
Thank you, Mayor, City Council, City Manager. We'll have our Public Works staff report. We'll start with the water treatment and distribution. Quarterly water samples returned with excellent results. Staff repaired the cooling system in the water plant's electrical enclosure, which was replacing a fan and a motor. Working with Tillamook Estuary Partnerships to install log jam at Jetty Creek. The water plant generator repaired are still being evaluated. New replacement is about 107,000 estimated. And we've addressed multiple water service leaks and mainline repairs. So replaced the leaking meter at 760 North Pacific. New water service was installed at 9705 Scenic View Drive. Repaired leak at 26490 Beach Drive. Water service leak at the 900 block of Washington Street. A water main leak at North Second and Beacon. There's a 4-inch AC line. And then an additional 17 water shutoffs for various reasons. Wastewater treatment and collections. The power outage caused electrical damage to our digester. Repairs have been completed. Scheduled bio bags. So it's the time again of year we pump those big black bags at the wastewater plant. This is the city's waste, which is planned disposal in late summer. Moving down, we have sewer repairs and maintenance. Sewer plug at 460 South Highway 101. A sewer investigation at 285 South Miller. Ended up, we contacted the owner and they we had emergency repairs to a service. Sewer main break on South Pacific Street and South Third. JM Excavation made repairs with the city staff. We cleaned the main line after repairs were made. Grease was also removed from Northeast 12th lift station. And cleaned manholes at South Second and Dolphin Street. Cambered sewers on South Second and Easy for proper sewer measurements for services. Moving down to roads, parks, and others. We addressed some potholes, street maintenance, and sign replacement. These are maintenance to the communications building on PVE. We've installed vents and covered some rodent holes. Maintenance to the spare generator that runs the communication building up there. Troubleshoot heat pump for the city hall and health department. Found problem and we called for repairs. Staff set up temporary heat in the meantime for the health department. We've installed a new catch basin in North Miller off North Third. We're getting quotes for the Highway 101 culvert replacement project. We've salted sidewalk, city hall, health department, post office, and also closed South Juniper on February 6th from the ice. Removed low-hanging trees on South Third across from the church, prep for the new ladder truck. That's also what we'll be doing for some trees around town. Staff reported to maintenance requests on the Washington Street crosswalk, so we're happy to help where we can. We've cleaned up a water puddle there. We do that once a year, it seems like. We've investigated trees, South Juniper, next to Nature Preserve. Homeowners called, mentioned the hazardous tree. We've investigated it. The tree ended up falling into the Nature Preserve. So no problems there. Potholes filled at Northeast 12th and Lake Boulevard. They were very bad. Staff repaired our dump truck, the idler system, and we installed a new belt. New tires were installed on our F-250, and it's F-150. And also while driving to Portland, our F-550 had a tire blowout. Staff was able to make it to the repair shop, get the tire fixed. New tires that come on a truck, when you buy a truck new, they're awful. I reckon they were in great shape, but they blew out. We responded to power outage February 24th, and generators were deployed at 7:30 p.m. I believe that was a Monday. And down to projects. The Wayside project is very close to completion, just waiting on a final safety handrail to be installed. These handrails were crafted by Pacific Fab and Machine out of Bay City, Oregon. They are truly a work of art. When you see the craftsmanship and the final touches, you'll know it was worth the wait. And great things take time. And I want to thank the public for their patience as this long anticipated access comes together. What makes this project even more special is that it's a true hometown effort. Advanced Excavation, they're the main contractors. Pacific Fab and Machine, the skilled hands behind the handrail, and myself all walked the same halls of Union County High School at the same time. It's been fun to work alongside former classmates to bring this project to life for the community we grew up in. And so thank you for giving me the opportunity. And are there any questions?
Just excited to see the beach access opened at the Wayside.
Before spring break.
Oh, good.
Awesome. Yeah, I've walked down there. It's really very, very exciting. And I understand our city manager had selected the colors for the water fountain and the shower and the foot washing station. And I love the colors. Two thumbs up. You didn't talk about the tomatoes.
Yeah, that was just, I left that special for you guys, but I can mention that.
I loved it. I'm sorry, but I loved it.
So those big black bags that I mentioned, we pump into, we haul out every other year. And so fun fact, during the drying process, we managed to grow the best tomatoes in town. For some reason, tomato seeds just do not get broke down through you or our treatment process.
Thank you. I love that. You have a really nice sense of humor, and you slip things into your reports, and that was a good example of it. So appreciate that a lot.
Quick questions. New water service was installed. Does that mean it was a new build? Is that what that means?
Not always. So the one in Scenic View.
Yeah.
Was due to the city installing a pressure system up there. So a homeowner that lives there is a well, and they went dry during last summer. So they ended up tying into our system.
So they were on a well and now they're on city water.
Yes.
Got it. Okay. And then you're getting quotes for the 101 culvert.
Yeah.
Where is that?
Across from, what's Dos Rocos? I think it's Dos Rocos, or yeah, Dos Rocos.
Like right here in town?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Cool. Also, thank you for filling those potholes at Northeast 12th because it's a lot of swerving happening back there.
Thank you, sir. Interesting.
Thanks.
Before we go on, you may notice there's something missing in the middle of our room. We did get advance notice that Jane Scott had some car issues. And so she let us know that she wouldn't make it tonight. So we would love her to be here, but it just wasn't going to happen tonight.
Thank you for bringing that up because I think that's important that the public knows that in general, so they don't think we purposely didn't
Right.
tape
Yeah.
tonight's.
All right, we have no presentations, guests, or announcements, so we'll move directly. No, we already did that. We did staff reports. We have no public hearings. So we're now on to the public comment period, which is an essential part of local government meetings.
You forgot Luke again.
Okay,
I got so excited about those tomatoes. Take it away, City Manager Shepard.
it's gonna be fine. My report is short tonight. Let's see. Every time. Yeah, so we got a pretty streamlined and straightforward meeting. There's only 3 items of business tonight, and that is the council will consider 3 resolutions, and that's it. So for us, that's a really tight meeting. So our first resolution the council will be looking at tonight is resolution 2025-12, and this approves a contract award for engineering services. Once we have this contract in place, that'll kind of lay the groundwork for the big projects we have slated coming up here. The biggest being the Nadana Beach water main replacement project. You all know about it. We had a $3 million funding package from IFA. So we want to kick that off. That'll be the first big project we do with the engineering firm of choice. So we solicited city proposals as required by the state. We followed a qualification-based selection process as the state requires. And through that process, the staff is recommending a 3-year contract with HBH Consulting Engineers for engineer of record. And then also tonight, resolution 2025-13. So this approves a preferred alignment for the Salmonberry Trail in Rockaway Beach. About a year ago, we worked, city staff worked with ODOT, and we brought Alta Planning on board. And their task was to take everything that had been done with the Salmonberry Trail over the last 10+ years and build on that and get us to a 30% design for that trail. So That means survey work, environmental reviews, looking at what the permits are gonna need to be, cost estimates, getting the alignment sorted out, all the right of ways and other things that go into this project. And they've been working for about a year now, and they're at the point where they can't proceed any further to get us to that 30% design point until we give them an alignment of the trail that they can do their further detailed work on. So that's what we're hoping to get tonight from the council is approval of a preferred alignment on that trail. And there's a lot of details in the exhibits in the resolution for that. And then lastly, for business items is approval of a use application for the Lions Club for their weenie wagon. It'll be adjacent to the Wayside. And they've requested dates in May, June, July, August, September. Staff reviewed it and the application is complete. Let's see, just a quick reminder, our large community grant, we're still accepting applications for that. And but the deadline is April 3rd. It's quickly approaching. There's a lot of information online about that program. And the small community grant, we've reached that deadline already. And the Planning Commission will review those applications at their meeting on the 20th. And then the City Council will have a chance to review those recommendations and the applications and make an award on April 9th. So that's pretty exciting. And my understanding is we received 6 complete applications for the small community grant. And I think the total ask for all 6 was about $23,000. So right within our budget. And then speaking of grants, we have 2 more city-funded grants. These are oriented at our businesses. We have our facade improvement grant, so up to $30,000 for local businesses, hotels, restaurants, to basically do any kind of improvements to the public-facing exterior of their building, windows, siding, paint, whatever they can think of, up to and including accessibility upgrades, ADA entrances, ADA restrooms, that sort of thing. Deadline's April 30th for those. And then we have a marketing grant as well, up to $3,000 for businesses for help with marketing. But our website has a lot more information on it that I'm going to give you here tonight. And then this meeting has the potential to be short, but we're going to make up for it with all of our engagements for March and April here. There's a couple I wanted to point out. So March 18th is the Source Water Protection Plan Town Hall. That's the last town hall that we'll have on that. And so we'll be reviewing the final draft that the team's been putting together. And so if you have any comments on that, please show up at the town hall or join us remotely. And the Source Water Protection Plan Development Advisory Committee will have one more meeting after the town hall and hopefully make a recommendation to council on a plan, a source water protection plan. Let's see what else. Also, let's see, in April, we have our first and second budget committee meetings. And also April 19th, Chief Hesse informed me last week, they're planning to have an open house along with their Easter egg hunt. So if you want to check out our awesome fire department, it's a great time to do it. And that's all I have for you all tonight.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. We have no public hearings scheduled, so we'll move to public comment on non-agenda items. The public comment period is an essential part of local government meetings. Each person has 4 minutes to speak. Our governing body takes the input into consideration. However, in observance of Oregon open meeting laws, this isn't a time for dialogue, but rather a time for us to listen to you. Our city manager is taking notes of action as needed. The electronic egg next to our city manager will count down, giving speakers a 1-minute warning by turning yellow. I do have the sign-up sheet here. Anyone joining us remotely who wishes to provide comment can notify the meeting monitor now by clicking the raise hand icon, and we will add you to the sign-up sheet. Do we have folks watching remotely?
Yes, you have Lindsay Madison.
Film.
No, it got me off.
Anybody else? All right. We have nobody signed up in the room, so the chair recognizes Lindsay Madison. Please state your full name and address for the record. After 3 minutes, the timer will turn yellow. After 4 minutes, the timer will turn red. Please conclude your comments at that time.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello? Okay,
Hello.
my name is Lindsay Madison. I live at 132 North Grayling Street. And I wanted to talk about the December 11th, 24 City Council meeting. The City Council members voted unanimously to greenlight the Nadana Wave Plan unit development. This approves construction of 28 new homes in the Nadana Marsh. This decision comes despite concerns about its potential environmental impacts, particularly on the nearby aquifer. Some of the reasoning shared by the council members included statements such as much as we might prefer, the current state of the code does not allow us to take a step back. The comprehensive plan talks about development in special wetlands area, so it is allowed. Also, somebody stated that the comprehensive plan hadn't been updated since 2008. Tom Martine, you raised several concerns about the development, including the issue of a single egress. However, despite these concerns, you ultimately voted to approve it, and I found this to be contradictory and confusing. There are important considerations about the city's comprehensive plan that must be addressed. The comprehensive plan is the reigning legal binding document that the city must follow as it serves as the controlling land use document. Key policies in the city's comprehensive plan include environmental protection. The city will cooperate with the DEQ to ensure that applicable state, federal air and water quality standards and requirements are met. Also, another policy is aquifer protection. The city recognizes that Rockaway Beach lies in a critical groundwater area and shall refuse to permit uses which the DEQ determines could pollute or adversely affect the aquifer. The city shall rely on DEQ and other qualified experts to determine the impacts of proposed uses and to develop a program to protect the aquifer from such uses. With these policies in mind, it is crucial to examine the potential environmental risks posed by the proposed development of 28 homes in this sensitive area, especially on top of the aquifer. Adding new homes to this region could lead to pollution of the aquifer through various environmental and infrastructure factors such as increased runoff and stormwater, wastewater and septic system runoff, chemical use, construction debris, increased water demand, and soil disturbance. The city's comp plan emphasizes cooperation with the DEQ and other experts to assess the impacts of proposed developments on the aquifer and to implement measures to protect it. However, the question arises, has the DEQ been consulted through the approval process for the Nadana Wave planned unit development? Furthermore, has the city developed a clear program to protect the aquifer from the impacts of new developments as outlined in the city comp plan? Given these concerns, it is clear the city's comp plan needs to be updated. It is essential that the plan includes stronger ironclad protections for wetlands and the aquifer against future developments, ensuring that environmental integrity is maintained. Until such protections are in place, the risks posed by developments like the Nadana Wave PUD should be carefully reconsidered. In conclusion, I urge the city without delay to update the comp plan and implement a concrete strategy to protect the aquifer at Nadana Beach. The need for action is critical. Thank you.
Thank you for being engaged in city government and sharing your thoughts and opinions. All right, we have no old business, so we move on to new business. Consideration of Resolution 2025-12, approving the award of a contract for city engineering services. Staff conducted a formal request for proposals for services as city engineer of record, and HBH Consulting Engineers, Inc. was selected. This resolution approves the award and authorizes the city manager to execute the contract. The public comment period is an essential part of local government meetings. Each person has 4 minutes to speak. I have the sign-up sheet. Anyone joining us remotely who wishes to provide comment can notify the meeting monitor now by clicking the raise hand icon, and we will add you to the sign-up sheet. Do we have anyone watching remotely for public comment? We have nobody signed up at the meeting or remotely, so the chair will entertain a motion that Rockaway Beach City Council approve Resolution 2025-12, approving the award of a contract for city engineering services.
I move to approve resolution 2025-12.
I'll second it.
It is moved and seconded that Rockaway Beach City Council approves resolution 2025-12, approving the award of a contract for city engineering services. Is there any discussion from council? I'll simply add that I did scan the vast material and read deeply the important parts. I was impressed. HBH has been our engineer of record, and I've come to appreciate the work they have done for us, the city. So I am personally happy that they won the competition. Since no further discussion, let's vote. Council President Cheek,
Yes.
Council Franken,
Yes.
Councilor Conroff,
Yes.
Councilor Martine,
Yes.
Councilor McGinnis.
Yes.
The motion passes unanimously. Consideration of resolution 2025-13 approving Seminary Trail preferred alignment in Rockaway Beach. The resolution approves the trail alignment recommendations resulting from the public engagement, campaign, and technical analysis by Alta Planning and Design. The public comment period is an essential part of local government meetings. Each person has 4 minutes to speak. I have the sign-up sheet. Anyone joining us remotely who wishes to provide comment can notify the meeting monitor now by clicking the raise hand icon, and we will to the sign-up sheet. Do we have anyone watching remotely for public comment on resolution 2020? Okay, we have nobody in the room or remotely.
I move to amend resolution number 2025-13 to insert the words section 3, which is the downtown section. The city council generally approves of the preferred alignment detailed in Exhibit A. However, the city council hereby directs the city staff to explore an alternative to the split path design in that, around the caboose in that section, adjacent to South First Street.
I second. the mo-
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we amend 2025-13, Section 3. The city council generally approves of the preferred alignment detailed in Exhibit A. The city council hereby directs staff to explore an alternative to the split path design adjacent to South First Street. Is there any discussion?
Yeah, I think that's a safety issue to split it there because it would narrow the path in half, right, where people get off the train, where the road or the street crosses, right where it would split. And so we need to approve for financial grant reasons. We need to move it forward, but that doesn't preclude the staff from continuing to find a better solution.
Any other comment from councilors? All right, let's vote. Council President Cheek,
Yes.
Councilor Franken,
Yes.
Councilor Conroff,
Yes.
Councilor Martine,
Yes.
Councilor McGinnis.
Yes.
The motion to amend has been approved unanimously. The chair will now entertain a motion that Rockaway Beach City Council approve amended resolution 2025-13 approving Seminary Trail preferred alignment in Rockaway Beach.
I move that we approve the amended resolution 2025-13, approving the Salmonberry Trail preferred alignment in Rockaway Beach.
I'll second it.
It is moved and seconded that Rockaway Beach City Council approves amended resolution 2025-13, approving Seminary Trail preferred alignment in Rockaway Beach. Is there any discussion from council? Since there's no discussion, let's vote. Council President Cheek,
Yes.
Councilor Franken,
Yes.
Councilor Conroff,
Yes.
Councilor Martine,
Yes.
Councilor McGinnis.
Yes.
The motion passes unanimously. Consideration of resolution 2025-14, approving use application for the Lions Club Weenie Wagon adjacent to the Wayside. Staff reviewed the Lions Club application for their Weenie Wagon and recommended placement in a location adjacent to the Wayside parking that does not remove parking for visitors on restricted and non-restricted dates. The public comment period is an essential part of local government meetings. Each person has 4 minutes to speak. I have the sign-up sheet. Anyone joining us remotely who wishes to provide comment can notify the meeting monitor now by clicking the raise hand icon, and we will add you to the sign-up sheet. Do we have anybody watching remotely? We have no comment at the meeting. Nobody wishes to comment among those who are in attendance or remotely. So at this time, the chair will entertain a motion that Rockaway Beach City Council approve Resolution 2025-14, approving use application for the Lions Club Weenie Wagon adjacent to the Wayside.
I move to approve resolution 2025-14.
I'll second it.
It's moved and seconded that Rockaway Beach City Council approves Resolution 2025-14, approving use application for the Lions Club Weenie Wagon adjacent to the Wayside. Is there any discussion from council?
No, I'm just glad we're keeping the Wayside open for all the parking because we all know how crazy it gets on the 4th of July with cars and parking. And so this is a way next to the Wayside to not inhibit any parking areas.
I like the fact that we've worked it out with the Lions and that they're satisfied with what we've suggested. And it hasn't taken them completely away from the area. So I appreciate it as a councilman and also as a member of the Lions Club.
So I'll just mention that at the February council meeting, the council did approve 3 Wayside use applications for use of parking spaces from the Chamber of Commerce and 1 from NCAM. The council did turn down a request from the chamber to use parking spaces on the 4th of July, as the 4th is a restricted date per resolution number 16646. Tonight's meeting, as we've discussed, we're considering a Wayside use application from the Lions Club, which does contain restricted dates. The key differences from last month's chamber request is that the Lions Club is asking to use a space adjacent to the parking and will leave all parking spaces available for visitors on those restricted dates. As such, I just don't believe that this request violates our resolution number 16646. Any other discussion? All right, with no further discussion, let's vote. Council President Cheek.
Yes.
Councilor Franken.
Yes.
Councilor Conriff.
Yes.
Councilor Martine.
Yes.
Councilor McGinnis.
Yes.
The motion passes unanimously. Well, with that, we'll move on to council comments. Council President Cheek.
Well, I'd like to give another shout out to our fire department. I don't think unless you've had an emergency and had to use them, you don't really comprehend how efficient they are and what an addition they are to our community. And I really appreciate what they've done.
Thank you. Councilor Franken.
I'd like to express my appreciation for Chief Hesse and all the fire department staff for helping keep us safe over here. And Deputy Grogan, thank you for all your efforts in keeping us safe as well. And as always, the highly entertaining Superintendent Emerson, appreciate it. And the city staff does an excellent job. I'm sure you're all aware, we're all feeling pretty organized and efficient with what we have to tackle. And just a reminder, as City Manager Shepherd said, we have our Source Water Protection Plan Town Hall on March 18th. That's it.
Thank you. Councilor Conrad.
I'm kind of disappointed that I have a obligation tomorrow evening and that I can't go watch the fire department. I'm hoping maybe my meeting's going to be quick and I can make the end of that. I'm really excited for the opportunity to have 2 additional deputies here in town. I think that it's going to be hopefully just in the nick of time for our busy season. So yeah, that's really exciting.
Good, thank you. Councilor Martine.
Last Thursday, one of the citizens informed me of a trip hazard on the new concrete work over there at the Wayside. And so instead of talking about it, we just jumped in my truck and went over there. As we were looking at it, an engineer came up to us talking to about it, and we checked in what it was like. And And I told him I'd be checking with Dan Anderson that afternoon. Well, heck, he found me within an hour just to talk to me about it, and they're gonna do what they can to, whether a small handrail or something to stop because everything's up to code the way they put the concrete in and everything. But it's just between a bench and a drinking fountain, there's a curb right there. Somebody went between them and went down, so.
Good job.
Thanks to Dan, he's gonna get it fixed.
Good job.
What else? That's it.
All right, Counselor McGinnis.
Yeah, so as always, things have been busy for us. We had our required annual Ethics Commission training here at City Hall, and planning commissioners came, and other appointed and elect, and all of the elected people. And but I also want to give a shout out to a couple of community members, because we thrive with support from the community. Monday, I went to the Capitol in Salem to lobby with a huge group of 120 people for a permanent fix to recreational immunity. It's, as you know, what we're living on right now is just a temporary fix from when we had to shut down the beaches. And Planning Commissioner Nancy Lanyon went also and lobbied too. So thank you, Nancy. A big shout out to you for putting in your time there. And then today, before the city council meeting, I was in Seaside at another event to learn about the state of the economy on the coast. And Patty Swain, who's president of the Rockaway Beach Business Association, also put her time in, and she was there all day today. And we walked through the driving rain to eat lunch. But it was a good day. And I just want to mention that Rockaway was like the shining star today. I think you would say that too, wouldn't you? Oh, definitely. It's like Oregon Department of ODOT, DLCD. It didn't matter who the state organizations were talking. They were bragging about what is going on in Rockaway. And all during the meeting, I'm texting the mayor and the city manager and bragging about what is being said about us. But I really want to thank the community members who show up for these things and help support the city. Thank you.
Good, thank you. Hey, City Recorder Thompson, may I have my slides, please? All right, during my mayor report, I'm going to speak about the seasonality of our economy, the activity that will be undertaken to boost our economy, the large array of annual events that take place in Rockaway Beach, the recognition given Sand Dollar Restaurant and Lounge, the newest and latest shop in town, Green Coast Market, and our coffee with manager and mayor. Next slide, please. Is it possible for you to blow that up a little bit bigger? Okay, all right, that's fine. So Rockaway Beach is a quirky, delightful town on the coast with 7 miles of walkable beach, recreation opportunities, access to nature, interesting shops, and a variety of delicious food venues. Yet our merchants, businesses, and restaurants must manage their business through the seasons of the year, and they all have found how to be successful in a seasonal tourist economy. For us, the summer high season starts Memorial Day weekend through the first half of September. We see large quantities of families, empty nesters, and singles in Rockaway Beach, and of course, our businesses thrive during this season. We slide into the fall shoulder season, the last half of September through October. Children are back in school, and we see primarily empty nesters and signals arrive in Rockaway Beach, and with it a drop off in visitors. November ushers in the off season through February, although we can experience an uptick at Thanksgiving weekend and perhaps Valentine's weekend. Businesses see an abrupt drop off in businesses. Many business owners closed to take extended vacations or perform maintenance and upgrades to their businesses. Finally, the spring shoulder season arrives in March through Memorial Day weekend. Rockaway Beach seems to wake up with spring break, and with Memorial Day weekend, the cycle begins again. Next slide, please. So according to Travel Oregon data, it shows that among cities in Clackamas and Tillamook County, Rockaway Beach gets the fourth largest number of tourists behind Seaside, Astoria, and Tillamook. I think that's pretty amazing that we draw that many people, and there's a couple of prominent cities that you are all thinking of that fall below Rockaway Beach. Now, the city will specifically be working with Tillamook Coast Visitors Association to draw visitors to Rockaway Beach during the 2 shoulder seasons and provide training in grant writing, social media, hospitality, how to manage in a seasonal economy, among other training. And then additionally, so that's going to deliver events to our city that will bring people in during the shoulder season. And we spent about a half an hour hearing from Nan Devlin about some of the ideas she had, and we're very excited about some of the events that we'll see coming forward in the fall and spring. We're also going to budget, or it'll be in the budget, to hire a consultant to help us create an economic development strategic plan for the city. If approved during budget season, which I expect it will be approved, the project would begin after the summer high season. This again will give us a roadmap to further grow our tourist economy and grow businesses in our community. Next slide, please. One way we as a community attract visitors are the annual events that occur in Rockaway Beach. Summer high season brings us Thursday Market, 4th of July parade and events like the Wiener Dog races, fireworks show, the annual Arts and Crafts Fair, the Rockaway Beach Music Festival, which is new to us last year and will continue to be an annual event, and of course the iconic Kite Festival. Next slide, please. During the fall shoulder season, the Thursday market continues, and we have the October trunk or treat. And of course, this is the time when we're going to get more events in town, working with Tillamook Coast Visitors Association. Next slide, please. We do all look forward to the tree lighting ceremony on the Friday after Thanksgiving, and we did have some discussion about what we might do to deliver some events in town to even bring tourists in during the winter time, but that's a tough nut to crack, but we're going to take a shot at it. Next slide, please. And then April brings us the Easter egg hunt and the Rockaway Writers Rendezvous. Again, I think this is the 3rd year for the Rockaway Writers.
Yeah.
So again, a relatively new event for Rockaway Beach. So with the music festival and the Writers Rendezvous, we're really upping our game in Rockaway Beach. Seasonality is a challenge for our businesses, our residents, and our city. Perhaps you have an idea for an event that fits in one of the shoulder seasons or even the winter off season. Perhaps a little out-of-the-box thinking could launch a new event that would grow our community's economy. If you have an idea, reach out to me and I can put you in touch with the Tillamook Coast Visitors Association that could help bring that idea to life. Next slide, please. Tillamook Coast Visitors Association hosted its annual Tourism Awards banquet in February. At the banquet, the Visitors Association awarded Sand Dollar Restaurant and Lounge an award for excellence and accessibility for its owner's dedication to creating an environment that is welcoming to all. Congratulations, Sand Dollar, and thank you for caring.
Could I just add something to
sure.
that? Today happens to be their 10-year anniversary. They opened up March 12th in 2014. So they have a lot to celebrate.
Thank you for sharing that. I appreciate it. All right, next slide, please. I expect you've heard that we have a new business in Rockaway Beach, Green Coast Market. Julie and Jason Maxfield bring the best that local farmers and food and beverage producers have to offer to Rockaway Beach. Drop by and shop on Friday, Saturday, or Sunday between 12 noon and 5 p.m. You won't be disappointed. Watch for a weekend of grand opening activities, March 21st through March 23rd. I want to just thank Julie and Jason for investing in our community and bringing new, delicious, and exciting choices to us all. If you haven't dropped by, please do. Next slide, please. So Julie and Jason saw an empty storefront and filled it with their passion for buying and selling local. Perhaps someone watching my mayor report will also look at empty storefronts along our commercial district and, like Julie and Jason, bring their passion to life with a new business. I list a few ideas on this slide. It certainly isn't meant to be all the possibilities, just intended to get you thinking. I'll just mention my favorite is the pinball arcade. So I'm hoping someone else there gets excited and brings a pinball arcade to our town. Be entrepreneurial, invest in our community. All right, next slide, please. We held our monthly coffee with the manager and mayor on Thursday, February 20th. We included a summary of the comments shared in the meeting packet for council and community members to review and consider. The next coffee with manager and mayor is Thursday, March 20th. We hope you will attend as an opportunity to meet your neighbors and share your thoughts on Rockaway Beach with City Manager Shepherd and me. All right, last slide. If you have ideas to share, questions or concerns about what is going on in the city of Rockaway Beach, please email me at cmcneely@corb.us. Thanks for your time and attention this evening. I am still listening. And with that, may I have a motion to adjourn our meeting?
Like a motion.
Motion to adjourn the meeting.
I have a second. Second. It's moved and seconded. Let's vote. Council President Chi,
Yes.
Councilor Franken,
Yes.
Councilor Conriff,
Yes.
Councilor Martine, Councilor McGinnis.
Yes.
We are adjourned at 6:57 on Wednesday, March 12th, 2025.
Usually I